students, today we will start chapter number 11, that is biotechnology, principles and processes. In this chapter we will study about the use of technology in the field of biology, that means for the betterment of the human society in the different fields like agriculture, pharmaceutical and other areas also the biotechnology is used nowadays. Now, according to European Federation of Biotechnology, it can be defined as the integration of natural science and organisms, their cells, parts thereof and molecular analogies for products and services. That means biotechnology not involves only the formation of product from the living organism's body or part or cell or DNA, but also the services which are utilized, that is also involved is included in biotechnology. Actually, biotechnology is a very broad area in which we are using the living system for production of desirable products, and they are helped by different types of tools, etc., that we will discuss in this chapter one by one. In this slide, we will study about the principles of biotechnology. Actually, biotechnology includes two main techniques, core techniques are there. First one is genetic engineering and other is bioprocess engineering or chemical engineering. Now, genetic engineering is the part area in which we can change the genetic material, we can alter the genetic material of the living being, like that is DNA, RNA, etc., and that will lead to the change in their phenotype, their behavior as well. Now, bioprocess engineering is the second core technique, which is actually the specialization of chemical engineering, in which the desired microbes are utilized in big quantities for manufacture of biotechnological products like vaccines, antibiotics, enzymes. They are utilized in different fields like pharmaceutical, then food industry, agriculture industry, as well as other various industries, and in this way there are two main core techniques, that is genetic engineering as well as bioprocess engineering or chemical engineering. Here also the same thing is given, that is genetic engineering as well as the chemical engineering, which are the core techniques. Genetic engineering includes the techniques to alter the nature of genetic material of the host organism by introduction of the foreign or recombinant DNA into the host organism, and that is by various methods, by using vectors, etc. Obviously, that will help in changing the phenotype of that organism. Now, techniques of modern biotechnology also involve the second one is, that is chemical engineering. In this technique, the maintenance of sterile microbial contamination free conditions, they allow the growth of desired microorganism or the eukaryotic cell in very large quantities, and they are utilized in the manufacture of vaccines, enzymes, medicines, hormones, etc. And in this way these are the two main core techniques. The first rDNA or recombinant DNA was synthesized by isolated by Stanley Cohen and Herbert Boyer in 1972 in the bacteria Salmonella typhimurium. Now, there are different tools which are utilized in the rDNA technology, which are restriction enzyme, which are belongs to the class nuclease, and this nuclease is of two types, that is endonuclease as well as exonuclease. These enzymes are also known as molecular scissor because they are utilized in cutting of DNA at a specific location, because they are that particular fragment of DNA, segment of DNA is required. Now, the second enzyme is known as DNA ligase, and as the name suggests, it helps in the process of joining of DNA fragments, segments of DNA with the vector DNA. So, that is why ligated, the joining is also known as ligation of the DNA. Now, the cloning vector, the vector cloning, for cloning the main vectors which are utilized are plasmids, bacteriophages, etc., which link with the foreign DNA to produce the rDNA, and then they will carry those rDNA into the host cell. There they will form the particular protein, they will show particular phenotype. This slide is showing the rDNA technology as well as different tools which are utilized in this process. The tools of recombinant DNA technology are different enzymes, then cloning vectors, which are also known as the carriers, and competent host. Competent host means in the host cell where the transformation will occur, and transformants as well as non-transformants will be separated. Now enzymes are cleavage enzymes like exonuclease. These are normal endonuclease. The exonuclease which cut the DNA from at the terminal position. Now normal endonuclease cut DNA within the DNA. Now restriction endonuclease, lysing enzyme, that is ligase, synthesizing enzyme, joining enzyme. So these are some particular enzymes which helps in the process of cutting or ligasing. Now the cloning vectors are either plasmid or bacteriophage. Bacteriophage, that is the viruses attacking bacteria. Now competent hosts are the host cells which are made competent by different methods that we'll study later, that is by bioelastic technique or micro injection or gene gun method or by putting on ice. So there are different methods to make the host competent, because host cells should be competent to receive that DNA, rDNA. The restriction enzyme which belongs to the class nuclease are of mainly two types, that is endonuclease as well as exonuclease. Endonuclease are those enzymes which cut the DNA at a specific site within the DNA, whereas exonuclease cut the DNA from one end, terminal end of the DNA. Now there are some rules for nomenclature of restriction enzymes. Here the first letter comes from the name of the genus, second two letters comes from the name of species, the third letter comes from the strain of that particular bacteria or that particular source from where the restriction enzyme is isolated, and fourth letter will be in Roman, which indicate the order in which the enzyme was isolated from that strain of bacteria. For example, E co R1, we can see here that E is capital letter and this is showing the Escherichia. E for Escherichia, this is the name of the genus. E letter is from Escherichia, showing the genus. Coli, CO from the species, R the strain of that particular bacteria, and 1, that means this is the order, first 1, this is the Roman letter. In this way the nomenclature of restriction enzyme occurs. Each endonuclease, that is restriction enzyme, will recognize the palindromic nucleotide sequence in DNA for cutting. Now what are these palindromes? A group of letters from same, when they form same word from both sides, that is from forward or backward. When we will read from forward side or backward side, the same letter will come, same word will be there. Like we can see the example Malayalam. From this side also when we will read, the same word will come, Malayalam, either from this direction or this direction. In the same way, the sequence of the base pairs will be same in both the direction, then it will known as palindrome. For example, this is the 5 through 3 direction, this side 5, this side 3, GAATTC. This is the sequence of the base pairs. Now when this direction is changed, 5 dash 3 dash, but again we will read like the same way, GAA then TTC. So from both sides they are same, that's why it is known as palindrome. So the palindrome nucleotide sequence will be recognized by the endonuclease to start to cut the DNA for the cutting of the DNA. That's why endonuclease or exonuclease are also known as molecular scissors. Now, features of cloning vectors. What are the features, characteristics should be there in the cloning vector, so that they will be the good cloning vector and they will solve the given purpose. That is origin of replication. That means the sequence of DNA from where the replication starts and also controls the copy number of linked DNA. So the DNA sequence present, that will only from where the replication starts, that's why it is known as origin of replication. They also determines the number of copy number of that linked DNA. Now, selectable marker. That means it should help in identifying and eliminating non-transformant and permits growth of transformant. Now, the transformants are those RNA having those cells having the recombinant DNA, and those having no recombinant DNA are known as non-transformants. So, there should be the growth of transformants and the non-transformants should be eliminated. So, this is only done by selectable marker. So, this characteristic should be there in the cloning vector. Now, the cloning site, the recognition site where to the alien DNA will be linked on the vector. So, where the DNA, that part of DNA, the foreign DNA will align or join on vector, that site is known as recognition site, that is cloning site. For example, some of the cloning vectors are BAC, YAC, then retrovirus, Agrobacterium tumefaciens, etc. In this slide again we can see some important tools of genetic engineering, that is enzyme, restriction enzyme, how it is cutting. Now, the action on the vectors which are used in rDNA technology have some characteristic feature, like a vector is an area of DNA that can join another DNA part without losing the limit for self replication. That means they will replicate. Now, they should be capable of replicating in the host cell also. They should have convenient restriction enzyme site for inserting DNA of interest, so that the DNA of interest should be ligated there. They should have a selectable marker to indicate which host cells received recombinant DNA molecule, so they can identify the transformant and non-transformant. They should be small and easy to isolate. So, these are some characteristic features that must be there in the vectors. Now, action of restriction enzyme, here we can see how it is cutting. The enzyme cuts both DNA at the same site. Now, this is the enzyme EcoR1 cuts the DNA between bases G and A here. Then only when the sequence GAATTC is present in the DNA. This is the foreign DNA, this is the vector DNA. This is known as sticky end, where these two will join, and in this way the rDNA will form. Transformation is the procedure in which the piece of DNA introduced in a host bacterium, so whose DNA is altered, changed, added with the foreign DNA will be known as transformant, and where DNA is not introduced they will known as non-transformants. Normally, genes encoding resistance to antibiotics, some of the examples are ampicillin, then tetracycline, etc. Now, there are some methods which make the host cell competent for transformation process, because DNA is hydrophilic in nature and it cannot pass through cell membrane easily. So, first the host cell must be made competent, and that we made competent by various methods. These are, first method is by treatment with calcium. When they are the host cell are treated with calcium, they will increase the efficiency, and DNA can enter through the pores in the cell wall. Now, next method is that when the host cell are putting on ice, then they followed by 42 degree centigrade. So, after ice they will be kept on 42 degree centigrade and again putting on ice. So, in this way the pores will become open and the transformant, the DNA, rDNA can enter in the host cell. Now, third method is micro injection, and this is generally applicable for the animal cell. Here the rDNA is directly injected into the nucleus of the host cell. Now, the fourth method is known as biolistic or gene gun, where this is applicable for the plant cell generally. Now, the cells are bombarded with high velocity microparticles of gold or tungsten, which are coated with the DNA, and in this way the DNA is introduced inside the host cell. Now, fifth one is disarmed pathogens, for example retroviruses, agrobacterium tumefaciens, etc. Some of these pathogens have the capacity so that they can carry the DNA and they will become the carrier of the DNA inside the host cell. So, that this characteristic is utilized here, and they can be disarmed and they are allowed to infect the cell, and then they will transfer the rDNA into the host cell. So, these are 5 important type of methods by which the host cell made competent so that the rDNA can be introduced inside the host cell.